Spicy Divorce Party Planner TV show. I'm your host, Spice, and I have my lovely co-host,
Creative Storm.
Go, maiden.
And where are you guys located?
LA. Not far. Look, let me put it like this.
Yeah.
Adjacent, look, about 7 miles adjacent to the SoFi Stadium, homes of Bram's house. Woo!
Oh yeah, she's still celebrating over there. And
Girl,
today we
please.
have a very, very special guest by the name of Skebz.
Hi, Skebz.
Hi guys.
Hi.
How are you?
How are you guys?
Tell
Yes,
us where
this
you're
is
located. Let us know where you're located.
I'm located in Lesotho. It's a country all the way inside South Africa. So yeah.
And how
No,
many
wait.
hours ahead are you than? How many hours ahead are you than LA?
To LA time, I think it's like 10 hours ahead.
Oh my God! So what time is it there
So
right now?
it's Monday morning here, so yeah.
Oh my God! Well, thank you for being part of our show. That's a big sacrifice.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you guys for having me.
You're a soldier
Yes.
because not many people could get up that early. And he's in a good mood too.
Right.
So, Skebz, tell us about your career and your music endeavors.
All right. I'm basically an all-around artist. I started when I was young. You know, like when I was very young, I was into drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Then I became a fan of music because I'm the last of I'm the third born. My mom has 3 boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So me being the third, my 2 brothers were just in. The other one was into music a lot, and the other one was into drawing and fine arts and so on. So I never even thought I was gonna do what I do now for a living. I never thought I would do music. Everybody, we want to do other things in life. Our parents always try to encourage us, especially here in Africa. They want you to be a doctor, and they tell you like they don't want nothing else. So over time, I don't know. I decided to go to a school that exercises or does more subjects that have to do with arts when I went to high school. So that's where the passion and just people just started supporting me, I think, and it automatically just became my life. I started with poetry, then I became more of a hip hop artist. I'm an 80s baby, so you can imagine, like in the 2000s when hip hop was very conscious, that's when I was watching it from the US. I was watching some from our neighboring country, South Africa. So I just became a fan basically, and I've been doing it ever since. I think it's almost 15 or 16 years now, I think. Yeah, around there. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I understand that you rap in your mother language as well. Can you tell our viewers what other languages you speak?
Oh yes. In our country we speak a language called Sotho because, like I said, the country is Lesotho. So the people are called Sotho. So Sotho is like the tribe. Basically, there's tribes like Zulu. We are one of the tribes that make up this southern side of Africa. So the most dominant tribe will be the Zulu tribe. I think we are like the second most. Like the largest after the Zulu tribe is the Sotho tribe. So luckily, I was fortunate enough to have a mother who's a lecturer, and she specializes or she speaks in my home language, which is Sotho. Mm-hmm. So I had a lot of learning from it. I had a lot of chance to study Sotho books. As you can see, there's always books in the background. Mm-hmm. She was very much into poetry and novels as well, Sotho novels. So I wanted to be I'm one of the first rappers to start using my home language in hip hop music.
That's wonderful.
Hence the nickname Sotho Hop King.
That's so
yes, like no doubt.
That's really great feat because a lot of us have lost our language, with colonization, and I think that's fabulous that you're holding on to your language. Now, do you feel that your viewers do you tend to get more in your mother language or English? Like, where do your biggest fans come from, or do you have a combination of both?
To be honest, my biggest fan base is still people that hear me in English.
Okay.
Because we also, in Africa, there's a lot of countries. In Southern Africa, it was mostly British colonies. We were colonized by the British, and after our independence and so on, most people still relate in English. The English is like our second language. So I made a lot of music in English when I was starting off until I was comfortable in my mother tongue. Mm-hmm. Then I kept making music in Sotho, but I saw that people loved how I started, the origins when I was still doing it in English. Mm-hmm. So I decided to sort of have a balance. I still make music in English and I still make music in Sotho. So you find that in maybe a 12-track album, there will be 8 English songs and then 4 Sotho songs. I try to separate it, yes, for the sake of making it fun. Sometimes I'll do an entire 16 bars in Sotho, and then the next verse will be in English, just to surprise. It's one of those. It's I choose. It depends on the song and the concept, but basically, yeah. But I like exploring the language as well. I don't just use the simple Sesotho words or the simple one that we use, the street language. I also try to throw in the culture or the heavy one, the one that our parents grew up speaking, and the other generations can teach the young generation to keep the language alive. The language. That's one of the reasons why I always included it in my music.
I love it. So you're like teaching the newer generations, which is wonderful.
Yes, ma'am.
Look, you know what? Can we listen to one of your songs? Which one do you suggest that you sent me that we should listen to right now? That would be a good example.
Okay, one of the best concept. Oh yes, it can be Sotho Chronicles, or it can be One of a Kind. Yes, the love song, because it's the month of love. So you can hear in One of a Kind, you won't hear a lot of Sesotho, like I said. I was trying to reach a wider audience, and so yes, it's more English, but you will get to hear how I do my music and what type of person I am. It really reflects me, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Were you saying that the other one, while she's doing that, were you saying that the name of the other one stands for One of a Kind? Is that what you said?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the love joint. That's the track that I don't usually make a lot of love tracks, but I wanted to do something special for my then partner, who was my girlfriend, who's now my wife. So that's the other song. The one Cassandra is about to play is more street hip hop song, because we always, hip hop artists always want to show that we are some like the best, type of thing, right. But still, yes, reflecting, continuing this legacy of Sesotho hip hop. So that's why it's called Sotho Hop Chronicles. It's like stories, it's like series,
I like this one a lot. I'm about to play it right now.
I actually heard a lot of your tracks on YouTube, and they're really good, just to let you know.
Now, Don, why is your voice messed up? Why is Don's voice messed up, you guys?
I don't know. I woke up like that.
Okay.
But I was saying, like, I've heard a lot of his tracks.
Oh, yeah, I heard
on YouTube.
You say that.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, they are. So let's play this one right now, and I hope your voice gets better.
Thank you.
I'm sending happy thoughts for our whole crew over here. Okay, so Sotho Hop right here. Here we go.
We gonna get it done, cause this is what we do, right? Give me 17. How much of us is Ish. Bari. Sekipa lama beat, this no spilling more rounds than oozes. Fella kids are moving. Skebz standard boot, leader of the revolution. Martin Luther saw the future. Passion is of Christ infused with a little Tupac. Fella, this is real, boy. Mashaka ka ufela bang khins. I'm talking meals, boy. Come on, mazodi badins. Skare funds, skare chance. We got bills, boy. Now feel record deal, boy. Give out Lazaka, man. Please don't tell me what I need drama. I'm trying to cop a hammer for my baby mama. I had these rappers singing, give a Lady Gaga. Kisuri Butana. Not a lot of gigs, Kisuri Badana. So I gotta shout a Shumbu Juvi, little megastar. Well, I need the better, got my hand and got my hand. Coco Bella to the spell of rebels, got food to wear. The way you have all these chicks, got they need it. No voodoo curses. Trust whenever we do battle, you lose like Zulu backwards. Black star, nigga, most step. Running for the black card, nigga, no stress. Real music for the dreamers, team, no rest. So I'm never gonna stop till I get my own chef. Yes, bow down to the king. Punchline, skiddy uppercut. I call him chinchillas. Kompang, lihibile, haslandi. You wanna kick it with him, marin tray, hansan. Get it? I got respect from Tim Bito Bohubezwa. Mafuzo wa ublomo chozi, ukena bobozwa. Wa agrama, negana, ukena Paris. Jerusalem to London, ukalong kukochwa. I swear to freaking God, man, I hate this. They don't respect the God, man, they atheists. No wonder why they flavor so tasteless, they basic. All of these donanyanas in the matrix. Bakalo bona mrepa again ang asa di chance. Kenkasa waka pizza nerality di tanka. Bakalo who against yale rasta on the mic. Never sisi takawana mo tominga mo hansa. Hipila sitara, I'm the coach to the most. Packing up these shows with my OG flows. I say here when I skip, I've been exposed to the brokenness, depression and hopelessness, but rose to my post. Now I'm the Sotho hard king, and there is none higher. Says nigga, better call me Messiah. Spitting that ish, I make it better when retire. Cooking up these records of my brother named Aya. There's 6 billion ways to die. Hurry up and choose. Kill you while I do now, but I'm all about my group, the truth speaker. Need the fella, my soul shooting words like a 30 gauge, bullets rounds like a Ruger. Walking in my city, bomo repa bantula. Walking in your city, banapana bansuna. Mixed commercial with the underground. Surely by feed, I'm the ghost of cyborg, the last real nigga, last real spitter from the belly of myself. Top 5 lyricists, my punch is too heavy, boy. But to back, had I give up on say. All these muscles know my murders got the 4-5 like shady, boy. So all the fly mommies go ahead, but for the line. Ain't begging a dime unless so fine, it's about wine. That dead mouth, punchline, got design and it gets on a little Rolex. Boy, I'm always on time, it's dead. These are my Sotho hard chronicles. Yeah, these are my Sotho hard chronicles. My Shabba got my Sotho hard chronicles. Rosie Beats, bear Sotho hard chronicles. Yeah, these are my Sotho hard chronicles. Shabba got the Sotho hard chronicles. Tell them about my Sotho hard chronicles. Rosie Beats, bear Sotho hard chronicles. Boy.
That was dope.
Shout out, shout out.
I like that. You went in.
Yeah.
Skebz, Echo asked you where you get your inspiration
Oh
from.
yeah. Yes, Echo asked about the inspiration. Good question. It's like I said, with me, I think it was the inspiration coming straight from the parent. I was raised by my mom. Unfortunately, my dad passed when I was very young. So the motivation behind me making music was the love for poetry, like I said. But in terms of artists, I was inspired by your usual. I grew up on Bob Marley. Then there was a lot of there's a music style in Lesotho or in Southern Africa that we call kwaito. It's almost like hip hop, but it's a bit dancey, it's a bit dancey, but yes, there was groups that we used to listen to when we were growing up, so they gave me a lot of inspiration to just write and feel comfortable to actually learn how to perform, because we don't do such things at school in this country. We don't do a lot of those, so you have to go out there and actually do street ciphers and whatever to try to get out there. That's how we usually do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my inspiration was that, and I wasn't too much.
Is
Yeah.
it hard? I mean, is there a lot of competition?
Oh yes, especially for the street rap. It's very hard. It's difficult because the music industry is not all sorted. So the only way you can get famous, you especially back in the days, there was no TikTok, there was no Facebook, so you have to sort of do more street rap. Like I said, you have to challenge yourself and be one of the best writers, because everybody will be watching you live. There's no pre-recording. We didn't even have studios back in the days. There was only a couple of people who had access to a recording studio when I was growing up. So you can imagine. So we had to be performing artists from the get-go.
Wow. Yeah, that's a tough struggle.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's really amazing.
That is. Skebz, I understand that you graduated from Visha, a music school. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, it's Visha. Yes.
Yeah. Now,
yes.
What did you enjoy most about attending that music school?
I finally got to do what I wanted, though I was a bit older now. But I was fortunate to have a parent that understood my love for this craft. And I loved piano more, but I wasn't that good at it. I became better as I was learning also presenting, being a host for radio and TV. So I think I excelled on the radio part more than the TV part. People loved the voice. So I loved the fact that I was able to also learn how to do my own graphics and stuff like that, because for music videos it's hard to get people to actually shoot our videos and stuff like that. It's very expensive. You have to travel like 5 hours just to get to Johannesburg in South Africa to get good quality videos. Yes.
Wow.
So you can. Yes, so at Visha, I got to learn all those things because it was based it's in South Africa, it's in Johannesburg. So I got the chance to be around where the superstars are, for us in Africa. Yeah, even Nigerian artists come down to Johannesburg when they want to do big moves, and that's like the powerhouse. That's where all the major TV stations are, and so on and so forth.
That's wonderful. So you're good.
Is it? Can I ask a question, Spice?
Yeah, go for it.
Like, as far as like how you said, I don't know if you meant even currently it's still that far. If you really want to get that kind of like face, interaction, but as far as concerts and stuff go, how do you hold those there? Do you actually have them right there in your country, like where you live, or do you have to travel to go do it? And if so, like, how big are they? Like, how do you advertise for those?
All right. Luckily, I don't know. I just had the confidence to keep at it. Most of my mates, when we were growing up, some of them have, we are older now, so responsibilities took over, and I think people changed. I stuck to it, and I became one of the pioneers in our country. So the organizations, in fact, the government organizations, the tourism and the arts and culture, they ended up giving us arenas and a couple of youth radio stations. I was there in the formation of all these things. Wow. So what I mean, yes. So now things are a bit easier. Even some of the content I produce in Lesotho now, we can just order anything and shoot it. You can get drones coming down. You can get video cameras, quality equipment. Yes, you know what I mean. So now it becomes a bit easier. But this is after like 2010. Before 2010, trust me, because I started at yeah, those are the rough years. You can imagine. So you couldn't. We in my country, there's only one TV station, and it's government owned.
Wow.
So you can, and it doesn't play music. It only plays music on Fridays for like 30 minutes.
Oh, that's
local music.
So it's safe to
so
you're there. Like you were there when it began to originate, because you basically, when it was hard to come by, you were there. So you literally bottom and worked your way all the way to what it is now, to see it originate to what it is. So that should be a great feeling, right?
Thank you. Yes. I consider it that.
Yeah, he's a hip.
Wow, that's great. Congratulations. Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that you competed in several competitions, like music competition, rap competitions. Would you suggest
Yes. Well, being from a different country, when you get to South Africa, because it's for many people, like I said, even artists from Nigeria, they come down to South Africa sometimes. Africa is almost like in the States, if you guys have all the states there, but it's one country. With us, every country is separated. There's like 54 countries, right? So now, when you go to a different country, we face a little problem of, I won't call it tribalism, but it is more like a tribal thing. You find that you won't have your Basotho crowd in the place you are in. So when you join a rap competition or anything, your own people, it'll be harder for them to support you because they don't have maybe the television, the channels that they have. Like you guys have cable, you know what I mean? So there'll be channels that they can subscribe to. So you have to get a new fan base when you get there. And it was harder, but I joined separate competitions and I ended up winning some of them. I did it for a living because if you didn't join those competitions, you would not even be considered by record companies. They wouldn't want to hear your material. They'll be like, what have you done? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I had to join, and I would go up against people that I was already watching on television making it. So it was such a hard time, but it helped me become who I am today. I had to join one of the competitions. I think I've joined around 5 since I started. So those competitions help financially, because if you get to the top 3, there's something that you get, top number 2, if you're number 1, you basically benefit. You might even get a recording deal or something. So I just started networking. Whenever I won, even if I had lost, I gained something from those competitions. I loved making new friends and stuff like that. Yes.
I agree. Yeah, even in the US, like we have.
It's hard there too. I've noticed. Yes, it's everywhere. Like I said, the mindset has to be the same. You have to have that global citizen mindset, if I'm to say, so that you can connect with everybody. I started getting opportunities to perform in different countries. Within Africa, there's a country called Ghana.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
The capital of Ghana is called Accra. It is also they love hip hop there, and it's a different country altogether from mine. The language, everything, they are more French oriented. The French were the ones that took over there, so the people speak French there, and they get surprised when I come from another country in Africa and I tell them about our stuff, our language, and everything. But I got to go there. I had a trip in there. I think it was 2011. And then that was my first time going outside the craft. So I got to say, even the artists in Ghana are very hardworking. They are very dedicated. And they have their infrastructure is way better than ours. So right now, you check some of the artists that they even come to the BETs. There's a guy called Sako D. He's very big in Ghana there. So I got to make contacts and, I just had that thing. I was a people's person, so even if I was just going for music, I network because, like I said, I'm also an ambassador for this.
That's wonderful. I mean, that's your gateway. You never know who you're
exactly
to. Yeah, someone could walk you in the door. I already know.
Is there somebody that you would like to collaborate with in the future, or do you have any plans of collaborations?
Collaborations with?
Like, is there anybody that you want to collaborate with, or do you see collaborating a lot with other artists in the future?
Oh yes, I would love to do that. I would like to do that. That's a very good question. I love collaborations. They grow you as an artist. I believe especially if you are a producer and an artist, usually you become comfortable. You get in your comfort zone, and then you have your studio all the time next to you when you wake up or whatever. You know what I mean? At your house, it makes you a different artist from what I love. I love traveling. I love also getting to understand how other people think. You know what I mean? So collaborations they teach you so much more than just you and the other artists. It's like there's a synergy that happens. You guys become, you create an energy that you could never have when you're alone. So I always love collaborating with different artists, male or female. I always try, and different genres as well. I don't stick within just my genre. There's a couple of genres that we do here at home, so I join them as well.
Okay.
That is awesome.
It is. Is there a particular one that you would like to collaborate with? I think that's what Don was touching on. Is there a particular artist that you would want to work with?
I have my favorites, but I don't know how I'll get there because they are such big artists. But like I said, in Ghana, my favorite is Sako D. In Britain, in UK, I like a guy called Stormzy. He inspires me a lot because he's like 6 foot tall, very big, and I'm 6 foot tall as well. So and I like his rap style and the topics he talks about. He's about social issues that are also going on there. It's not just about the drill, art that's going on in UK right now. And so in the US, I was inspired by a lot of artists, but my favorite currently is a guy called D Smoke. He's from LA. He's from the West Coast. He won that competition. I think it was called in 2019. It was called Hustle and Flow, Rhythm and Flow, something like that. It was hosted by. Yes, I just fell in love with his work. He's the younger brother to Sir. Sir with the capital S, small I, capital R. He's signed to TDE. So that's his younger brother. He came into the industry already knowledgeable, and he was one of the oldest competitors in the competition. So I just fell in love because he was like in his 30s. I think he was 32 or 33 when we found out about him. He only dropped his debut in 2020. And I got to understand it because I was watching him grow throughout the competition. So he's very inspirational, very, very, very nice. That's one of my favorites in the US. If I get a chance to network with him or talk to him, I like his stuff. And there's a YouTuber. Yeah, and a YouTuber as well. I think he's from Canada originally, but he's based in the States now. Dex. Everybody knows Dex. He's originally from Nigeria. Yeah, I like Dex a lot. I communicate with him. We talk from time to time, but we haven't spoken on a musical level. I'm speaking as a fan, and he's giving me some answers as an established artist. But yeah, I'll get my shot. I just gotta keep pushing.
Okay, and speaking of, I think you have a song that falls into that category, Fallen. Can you tell us what Falling's about?
Falling is about life. It's about when I had the sample behind the beat. My producer, his name is Imhotep. He loves traveling the world as well. He's very he likes gaining knowledge on everything. He's the one that got me to be very conscious about things. I was more of a street rapper, like I said. He made the beat to Falling, and when I heard it, it was when COVID and everything just started, So we were down. The whole world was down. I wasn't feeling in the mood to record, but I thought to myself, if I stop now, there's no events. The whole country's the world, in fact, is on lockdown. What can I do? Then when I heard the song, I said, this is the perfect song to express my emotions and tell people what stage I'm at in life. So I wrote that song, but it's not to tell people or to demotivate them and tell them that I'm falling. It's actually to tell you that even if I fall, I'll get up, I'll rise again. That's what it's about.
Wonderful. So let me find that and we'll play that one.
Okay.
Let me get in here.
You said you're looking for it, right, Spike?
Yep.
Can I ask him a quick question?
You sure can.
Well, okay, so I noticed that you have your mic in the background. Is that where you created like a studio, or because I see it's near your books, and I know you said you like to read a lot. Like, is that where some of your inspiration comes from? And is that why it's there, or why that particular location, and how much do you get done there?
Oh yeah, this is actually the setup. This is my studio. So I have a booth so that I don't bother, the madam and everything. I come in here to just relax. Sometimes I don't record. I just come to read a book or something, and I pick up on African literature a lot because we didn't get a chance. We did a lot of English books, Shakespeare, whatever. So I only started reading these ones when after school, after my tertiary. So I come in here sometimes just for the reading. I try to stay off as much as I like connecting with people and networking. I try to stay off social media sometimes and just enjoy the books. I've found pleasure in them. I don't know. I never realized how interesting reading was until of late. Yeah, I think my partner also inspires me a lot because she's into books. So yeah,
That's cool. That's cool.
That's wonderful. I mean, that's where you get more inspiration and knowledge. So
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and play "Falling" by Skebz. That song is dope. I love that song.
He has some great background singers too. One of them has a really strong soulful voice too. They back him up good. Did you hear it?
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you guys. Much appreciated.
I love that song. I really do. That's a good song. And you said it's different because you said most of your other music is kind of like gangster music kind of, or something like that? Versus this is more like
yeah. Yes. You know, I won't call it split personalities, but you know, as a person, you have a few personalities inside you, but you try to merge them. You know, it's like the yin and the yang. I find it that if I try to act, because you know, with maturity as you grow, you want to show people even in your music that I'm at this age and this is how I think. But now there also comes that aspect of the fans that started supporting you since you were younger and who still want that feeling of when you were younger. You know what I mean? I found it important that you should always try to you know, stay young in your music. When I wrote this song, the only person I usually refer to is my wife, and I asked her, what do you think about this song? And the first thing she said was, this doesn't sound like you at all, because she had never heard me on laid back music like this. So I told her, no, baby, this is the time for this type of music. You know, because if you heard this, even parts where I talk about the George Floyd thing that happened, we all worldwide, we're all seeing what's happening, and sometimes I think artists nowadays are scared to just tell their truths. They just want to sell records and they just want to talk about, you know, turning up and all that lifestyle. I'm not about that. That's what this song is about. It's just me being me. But from time to time, for me to get and stuff like that, I happen to do a couple of party songs and stuff like that so that I can cater for everybody.
That's good that your verse is.
I'm still, at the end of the day, I'm still a person and I still enjoy going out and stuff like that. So that's some of the music that some people might know me for, but this is my core.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I would say. This type of sound is my core. So I just free flow and I did this. I think I wrote just a third of it. Like 60% of it is just freestyle. I was just in the studio having fun and just telling it like it is.
Has your wife been very, very supportive? Like, you know how sometimes when you're in the in the lifestyle like that, it keeps you busy and kind of away from family. But do you guys have an equal balance to where it doesn't create that type of friction?
Oh yes. Luckily, because I think we are. I go to certain events so that's to show her that, hey man, I don't have groupies, and I just go to do my job. Then usually when I get to the gigs, what I usually do is I get at the specified time when I'm supposed to do my performance. After my performances, I always leave. I don't try to hang out. And then, you know, before I got married, I used to want to do that. And I used to have a crew. I was a member of a 3-guy crew. So since 2015, I've been on my own. I've been working solo because, like I said, one of my other friends got married before me. And after he got married, he just quit music, dropped it just like that. And he was one of the best. I had to learn how to do things on my own more. Then when I met up with my partner told me she's not going to change me. I thought I was going to have to change because at home here, or usually when you start making music, most people that do music don't even get married. You know, especially the DJs and the MCs, the rappers. We never do because we find that our lives are so busy. Our partners usually, they don't stick around, you know, or sometimes it's so hard just to make a living, and so for somebody to bet on you and say, I'm going to be with this person while they're trying to make themselves, you know what I mean?
Wow,
so
right.
See, yes, I think I was just fortunate to find somebody that loves me for who I am and that understands that this is what I do and what we now do. Yes,
right.
So she's very involved. Yes, she's very involved. She's not even a musician, but sometimes she's learning. She started coming in the studio and doing a few hooks here and there and singing some lines here and there.
Wow.
You know, yes.
I'm glad to hear that. God bless you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's fabulous when you can grow with your partner.
Right.
Ask you, where did you meet her at, if you don't mind us asking?
Well, I think I was taking a walk and passing by somewhere, and then we started talking about things because I don't know what was happening that day. I was just eating snacks. I'm not a many artists. What we usually do, which I think is a bit different. Artists love dating people in the music industry too. We love dating other artists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I found a person who I didn't even know. I think she only found out from other people, and they started telling her, like, do you know that you're the guy you are seeing, the guy that you are getting along with is into music? I never told her. I wanted to try to keep it so that she could like me for just the person. Yes. So when we met around that time, we kept each other's contacts and started talking on your WhatsApps and whatever slowly, and until we started hanging out and saying, hey, do you want to come with me to my show? One of the first things that made us really connect, I met her around the time when I was entering a competition for a company called Vodacom here in Lesotho. So she just started sending me messages and saying, I'm voting for you. I want you to win this thing. So every day she told me how much she's sending and whatever, because you vote using money. And I was like, wow, you're actually not supposed to, vote that much. But
Right.
I saw that it was real, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it became like that. And, we were one of the weirdest couples because a lot of people, when they saw me and her, and our 8-year, 9-year age gap, they were like, why are these people always together? But we were like brother and sister when we started. It was just like that. We were just together all the time. And we went, like I said, we went to these shows together, and she realized is not in the limelight, he's not in the hype, he's just doing this because it's a passion. So I'm also very appreciative of it, because he teaches me music. That's the other thing. He teaches me so much good music and other things as well that I wasn't interested in. Sometimes you become one track minded as an artist. So I loved the fact that she started getting me into different things, even cooking. I was a bad cook. So yeah, that's okay. So yeah, that's I it's so hard to let someone in your life when you are an artist, because we get so much criticism. You end up just being on your own. You don't let anybody that close to you. So this is one of the few people I let in after a long time, because apart from my actual family, I don't really have a lot of friends. And the dating thing as well, it wasn't my business. I was just bad at it. I sucked. My relationships never lasted for long. So, it had been a while before I dated until I met her. It had been a minute.
Nice.
Yes.
I know you're doing an interview on him, but is it possible? Can we ask to see a picture of him and his wife? Like if he has one that he doesn't mind sharing, or no?
Yeah. Do you have a picture of your wife? And did you say there's an age difference between you two?
Yeah. They're 9 years.
Who's the oldest?
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not.
Me and Don go 14.
I'm older.
24.
Thank you. Okay.
About that.
We're just joking, kidding, just kidding a little bit.
Y'all.
Okay.
And I thought you said.
You had a 14-year difference.
Oh, Jesus, that's another episode. That's a whole episode.
Oh yes, Sotho hop.
Sotho hop.
Okay. Yes. It's basically my angle of hip hop. Looking at it from my culture. Here's a funny fact. In my country, there was already hip hop music. It's been there since the beginning of time. Our traditional music, it's rap. It's rap incorporated. Our people actually we call it famu. So in our traditional music, the guys do everything that American rappers do, funny enough. And it has got to the point where now they're even in these beefs and stuff like that. But it's like traditional music, because the way I stay, it's a very mountainous place. Like I said, we stay in very scattered areas. You find that you can own acres and acres of land, because it's like the mountains, it's like the highlands, you know what I mean? So our traditional music, when they do it, it almost sounds like hip hop.
Okay.
Yeah, well, our instruments, everything. So the moment I do Sotho hip hop, I had to incorporate that traditional music with hip hop. You know, like being a fan of Mos Def, Talib Kweli, I could hear that they were already listening to some of the elements that we already had in our music in Africa.
Wow.
So even jazz, another big art form is jazz in our country. People love jazz a lot. So I tried, Sotho Hop is a fusion of Lesotho music forms incorporated inside the hip hop music that we love. Mostly New York hip hop. I'm a big fan of New York hip hop. I grew up on more the New York style of hip hop. So I found a way to do that, and I put a traditional instrument that is the accordion. If you guys know the accordion, the accordion is like our traditional. We have now adopted it into our traditional music.
I
So
didn't know that. I thought, yeah,
Oh.
I think they even have accordion like in Mexico, right? Have you guys heard that? And I think, yeah, it's so strange.
Yeah.
that the accordion has went to all these different
and
countries.
they love it a lot in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we play different. Our accordion is a different one. These old school ones that have two different sides, like that you can wrap around and then play. So they play the accordion, and so I found a way to sort of mess that accordion and bring it back and put it into the hip hop. That was way back. So now everybody's doing it. That's how Sotho Hop began.
Wow.
That's different. That's
Yeah,
That is
that's,
awesome.
that's really eye-opening.
It's unique.
How long does it how long does it take for you to get a track out? Like, and because it's like your music sounds like there's so much quality in it. How long does it usually take to get one track out for you?
All right, good question. It depends on the emotions. Like I said, I'm not a signed artist. I've once worked with a record label, but it was only for one album. So when I make my music, usually it takes me a space of maybe a month to two to work on one song, one good song. I take a lot and getting the element. I think just 2 to 3 days that having a script that will definitely go into the music. But the hardest part, which I've found, which most new artists don't do, most new rap artists, they write on the beat, so the emotion is dragged by the beat. They're just told by the instrument on what to do, the instrumental. It tells them what to do. What I usually do, I write my thoughts first, I put them down, and then I find the right instruments for them. I think that's why I differ with a lot of. I want the emotions to be natural and flow first, yes. So I love the writing process, and then the production process. Though I don't really like it, I gotta do it. It takes me longer because I want it as quality as possible.
Good.
That's
Yeah.
Don. That
No,
was
it's very good.
Yeah, 'cause I want to go into songwriting too, and so like I always hear people they write to the beat. So it's interesting to hear that you're actually able to just write down your thoughts and then put the music to it.
yeah. I think that's pretty cool
Yeah, it is.
to own that way instead of making it someone else's.
Yeah. There's something also, you know, with hip hop music, there's things called flows. You know, your rhythms, the way you place your words. You know, if you are listening to a trap beat, you are obviously going to have to adopt the flow that they use for the trap music and so on. I found that it becomes easier to just find a style that can suit all those different types of beats and still reflect you as the person. Most artists, that's why they use a certain style, and then after that style, when the music changes or when time moves on, you find that this guy is no more relevant because they were trying to use the sound of that time. I try as much as possible to use a flow that I call my flow a timeless flow. I just rap in a way that makes you feel like you don't know when the song was made. You know what I mean? It could be, I could have recorded it 5 years ago and still present it now and you wouldn't even know. So I just, like I said, I flow with the emotions first. And when I get on the beat, I'll find a way, but I won't use the typical flows. I try as much as possible not to use I won't call it mediocre, but the typical flows that people use for
I do
songs.
agree with that because then it really identifies you as individual. Like, I mean, when they hear your music, they know it's you rather than everybody. Like when other people are using
Yes, ma'am.
flows, they get confused and mixed up, and you don't know who the artist is. But when you have your own sound, they know it's you. So that's very
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, that is.
It's simple like that. Well, yes. Couldn't have said it better. That's exactly how I feel.
It took her question to lead into that. Otherwise, we wouldn't even know this information about you. So that was a great question, Echo. And the thing about it is, like, I've never heard in all the years that I've been here, and you listen to hip hop interviews, you listen to all these musical interviews. Me personally, I've never heard where someone wanted their sound to be timeless to where you couldn't date it. And I think that's great. And I mean, because you put time and effort and thought into it, and some people are trying to, you know, flip records and albums and stuff in a week, but it's okay if it takes you a little more time, because like you said, your quality, even she said, like, the quality of your music is excellent, and I'm looking forward to listening to all of it. And I think that's a great thing, and it's unique, and keep it up. You know what I mean? Because just like with clothes, sometimes people get the most compliments on something that might be 15 years old versus something they just purchased a week ago. You know what I mean? So not being able to date and being unique is a beautiful thing. So I congratulate you and keep it up.
Yeah, I really, like I said,
Yeah, that was great.
Touch on the I know earlier when the girls were just tuning in, you're talking about your wife and her business. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because I think that's awesome that you guys have a home-based business, right?
Yes. We have 3 home-based businesses actually.
Wow. 3?
Yes. You remember I had mentioned that about the country I stay in, you can choose. Farming is one of those things we do inherently because, like, land, there's a lot of land, you understand? So when you have the land, I decided to go into breeding pigs and stuff like that. So, and chickens. Wow. And then it started as the first business because my partner said we need to do something during the lockdown to make more money. There was no more performances. We were not getting shows. So her being able to also cook, she started making pies, and we luckily were next to like a main road where it's not too far from many people and where people do their things, you know. Wow. I stay a bit out of town, but you couldn't say it's a rural area. It's just a bit out of town. It's comfy enough. You can be comfortable, but you can also get to town quick. So now, when she told me about the pie business, we just started with it, and I from the get-go, because I'm the first person to taste her cooking and I know it was gonna work. She was a bit reluctant. She didn't know it was gonna work. So we started just doing them, and so they have to be delivered as early as 6 a.m. Even when we were doing the interview, she was here to help me set up and everything with the mics, and now she's going there. So that's the business, and then we have people with their own stores and their own sort of small shops that we deliver to. So we have 3 different shops that we deliver to within my neighborhood. Yes, that's how we do it. So every day it's the different things. We've just started now with muffins as well, but it was initially just pies, and we just started seeing it take off, and I was like, oh, this is good.
Right now.
Bringing in extra cash. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh yeah. So the other thing is we are both just hustlers more than 9-to-5ers. I used to have a 9-to-5. I don't know what happened. I used to work at a radio station, and at some point I don't know, I discovered YouTube and I discovered doing things myself, and now I just go and I give them some of my content, but they play it. I don't do it live anymore. So yeah, we do everything from home. So the third business is just the studio itself. Yes, there's always artists coming in from time to time, so I can help them make their music and give them a few tips. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, you guys are hustlers. You're like me, like with 20 jobs. I also know that you wrote some songs before you got married. The One of a Kind song was for your girlfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
Back then,
yes.
Now your wife. So what does she think of your song? What did
she loved it, but she was very critical when I was doing the song.
He's so positive. I really like him.
I know. He has a lot of information, and he puts a lot of thought into his music.
He's got a lot of energy. They sound like they're very supportive in both of those industries that they're involved in.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry for my voice. You can see you squinting.
Yeah, it's nice to have a partner like that.
A support. That's what the support factor. You know.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Just in simple terms, the song, I had found somebody who's so unique and also around them. That's why the song is called One of a Kind. Yes, down here, sisters don't want to see a brother. The first question that a sister will ask you is, how much do you earn?
Oh, so
Like,
they don't want to.
They don't want to date a guy who is still trying to find themselves or still trying to make a living or something. They want a person who's established. They'll ask you, because some people here, I told you guys I stay in a kingdom, right? So it's in a kingdom, there are people that are automatically born under, royal families. You understand?
Right.
And you have money, you understand? So you can imagine now, some of these guys who want to be musicians too, they want to be artists, they want to be actors. They are obviously going to have the upper hand on these things. You understand? Right. So girls want either those guys or just are financially successful guys, either from school or just, even if they're doing whatever they're doing in their lives, they want a guy who's already made, a made man. And it's hard for every guy to be like that, you know what I mean? So here it's a deeper issue. They don't build a guy up from the beginning and say, maybe I can this guy and hustle with him. Not a lot of women do that. Yeah, so you find that younger women just opt for a guy who's already established. They'll go for an older guy who has everything. Because you know what I mean? That's the type of life. That's how it is. We can't change it. That's how it is.
Sounds like America too, honestly.
Right, but you know what? That's acceptable.
Universal.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
I mean,
I thought this was only okay.
That okay? Like, it's accepted to just ask a man how much he earns and it's okay, like, feel no shame about it.
Yeah, they're straight up. What separates us is, like I said, being one of the few last monarchs, last kingdoms. We still have that rooted thing. Our culture is very, very strong. Whereas the women to settle for anything less. They know better. So for a guy to get a good wife, now you're going to have to go to the rural areas. You understand? Because that's where you will find a very well-raised women who are still very religious. We are a very religious country, by the way, like Christian. It's mostly predominantly Christian, our country. So you find that if you don't find women from those places in town, because I grew up in town, you are not going to get one. You are just going to get, a girl that wants you, have a big wig on hair. So it's mass, it's the media. I think the media, most of the media that we receive is from South Africa, like I said, and the South African lifestyle is almost like America. The South Africa is the America of Africa. That's how I can put it.
So they got gold diggers.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to use that word. Yeah. To some degree, yeah.
No.
This song,
did your wife?
I found one of a kind. That's why it was called One of a Kind, because
that's right.
When did I write it? I think I wrote it in 2016, 2015, 2016. It was released in 2016. Okay.
We're going to listen to that song right now. Let me find it.
Which one? One of a Kind?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let me find it over here.
Miss Lee, yes.
Skebz yeah. This is for my girl. This is for the world. You know you my angel, right? Yeah. good? Do you know what's passion? What we have, so be glad, cause it's fated attraction. All we have is each other, so I open my senses. Made it possible for you and I because we are masking. Now I'm out rapping, forming connections. You know about the going back to Joe back for the action. And I know you gon' be mad when I'm gone, when I'm asking. Baby girl, don't be sad, I'll be back in a sec. I'm just an entertainer girl, rap for the masses. Trying to be a role model, but these models keep asking for a brother's phone numbers. But I don't do that, ish, I just call you up cause you got me obsessed, kid. I'm trying to see the Benzes, money advances. I'm trying to be your boyfriend, but really your husband. Are we gon' make it past this? People keep asking, but we just laugh it off knowing we got magic, girl.
Whole world cause you're perfect. Boy, you're always on my mind. Like an angel sent from heaven. Boy, you always treat me right. And I'll always be true. Boy, I got you. Always be true. Boy, I got you. You're my whole world cause you're perfect. Boy, you're always on my mind. Like an angel sent from heaven. Boy, you always treat me right. And I'll always be true. Boy, I got you. Always be true. Boy, I got you.
Baby girl, what's good? Do you know what's passion? Whenever we connect, when we kiss, it's perfect. Hickeys on your neck before we skip to the section. You know the day we met, I could tell it was heaven. That brought you and I to the point where we lamping. Chilling at my place and just relaxing. The time you broke it off, I can reminisce that ish. You really cut me deep like the ninja assassin. But I had my faults, I wasn't known for caution. I had 3 or 4, I was always plotting to screw them other girls. But since I met ya, screw them other girls. You my Kim Kardashian. I'm trying to see the advances, money advances. I'm trying to be your boyfriend, but really your husband. How we gon' make it past this? People keep asking, but we just laugh it off knowing we got magic,
You're my
girl.
whole world cause you're perfect. Boy, you're always on my mind. Like an angel sent from heaven. Boy, you always treat me right. And I'll always be true. Boy, I got you. Always be true. Boy, I got you. You're my whole world cause you're perfect. Boy, you're always on my mind. Like an angel sent from heaven. Boy, you always treat me right. And I'll always be true. Boy, I got you. Always be true. Boy, I got you.
I love that song. That song's so cute.
It is, yeah.
I like that song. That's a fun song.
It's a good song. I think a lot of people wonder that kind of stuff or express that in the relationship, and it's just you can connect with it. You know,
It's a fun
No
song.
doubt.
Yeah, since both partners are in it, a male and a female. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Incorporating both.
Thanks. I'm glad you guys like it.
Yeah, we really do like it.
It's very hard to write those. I find it easier to do random topics, your usual rap stuff that we grew up doing, but it's more important to write these types of topics. It's more important to express real emotions and say what's in our hearts. So yeah, this one took me a while to write, but it was worth it.
it's really good.
I so agree with you because our show, we have a lot of divorce and breakup parties. So we have a lot of failed relationships on our show, and so we try to give like some positive advice, and it's so nice to see couples that are really doing well and excelling, and I think we need a lot more couples, positive couples, to lead us in that
Power couples.
Yeah.
Those are your power couples, right?
Yeah, definitely a power couple.
Most def.
Let's see here. How did you know that your wife was the right one?
When I first met her, yeah, I believe. I don't know. Down here, we're very intuitive in the sense that we have more time. I don't. Maybe people being are now able to go on social media and talk like a.
Or like it froze again.
I said I grew up in the 90s being tend to sit with our girlfriends and try. People just started dating for going out to movies, or when you're going out to specific places, you only see your partner when they're happy. You know what I mean? You only see them when you're enjoying yourselves at the malls, like I'm saying. But with this person, we learned to hang out at different places and understand each other very quick. Because I'll tell her on Saturdays I have rehearsals, band rehearsals. And then now whenever she would come to the band rehearsals, she would really listen and sit there, and I would think, wow, this person loves this thing that I do. You know what I mean? It's so hard to find somebody that loves something that you do without, because I know from time to time my music must bore her, you know. I can't imagine marrying a musician if I wasn't one, because we are weird people, you know. We wake up at hours of the night and we just start writing music. I'll tell her, baby, I gotta go to the other room and come up with, I have something in my head. You know what I mean? So I saw her so understanding, and I thought, wow, maybe this person was just made to be with me. Then I thought, I also need to learn and understand this person as well. To work, because it's not about compromise or lows and their highs. We never want to know other people's lows. We always want to know a person on their when they're, you know, happy and everything. Once you understand a person and know how they even feel or how they even act when they're angry, you know what I mean? We really don't want to know when a person is angry. Once you learn a person, we got to point in this. We've been together for 5 years now. We've been married for 3. We even in the space of a year, we can literally have like only 2 or 3 arguments.
Oh wow!
And not 2 ones, yeah. Like we know each other. Whenever she's angry, I'm like, I know you're angry because of this and this and this. And then I'll try to do something. You know, when somebody is very angry, that they don't just turn like that. But I'll do things, you know, to try to light up her day and show that I'm sorry and whatever, because everybody makes mistakes. But what most people do is we let our, I think as men we should start also being attentive to our women's emotions. We should really understand that, and also accept that us as men are also emotional beings. Many men don't want to admit that. We, you know, spaz out, we go crazy sometimes, and then we pretend it didn't happen. That's wrong. I think that's one of the most important things, just accepting and understanding that we can each be at fault at certain points in life, and sometimes it doesn't even have to do with us. It can be work frustration, it can be anything. So understanding each other, it really grows you together. Yes, you have to work at it. It's an everyday thing. Yes. Okay. And like I said, we are not 9 to 5, so we spend a lot of time together. So we get to see our, you know, each other's faults and our high points, so to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
Son.
Yes.
Yeah,
I gotta
stop.
Well, just because I don't want to leave, but I gotta go. But I wanted to say,
Go. Yeah.
No, and I didn't want to just like go out without saying something, you know, that's rude. But I'm glad I heard that last part, and that you being a manly man can actually say that both. We all know that women are emotional creatures, but men are too. But they are afraid to say it. So I applaud you for, you know, even saying that out loud. You know what I mean? Because that's a great thing, and it's okay. And men need to know it's okay. But I'm gonna definitely watch this whole thing and see what I missed. But I was glad to be a part of the beginning of it. So Echo Maiden, Spice, I'll see you guys later. You keep up the good work, and I'm gonna be following you. I'll find you on social, and I'm gonna follow you as well and support you where I can from here. Okay.
Okay, so thank you very
Hopefully
much.
one day we get to Africa, Shonda. Maybe that'll be
I want to
virtual.
go.
Yeah. And on.
Yeah, hopefully our show will get there
Do
with
that. We need to do that.
Okay. Well, you have a nice night, Shonda. We're gonna keep on.
All right, you too. You guys
Thank
keep
you
it up.
for tuning in. Thank you for joining us.
All right, bye.
Bye. Okay.
Bye.
Okay, so we got
Bye.
some more questions.
Bye.
Okay, on our show, like I mentioned, we have a lot of breakup and divorce parties. What do you guys do so you don't end up divorcing?
Threaten each other. No, I'm playing. But to some extent, yeah. You know those little small threats that my partner tells me all the time, you are never going to divorce me. And I say, but it's a thing that's happening now worldwide. You know, people, especially new couples, you know, the millennials, whatever we are, there's a lot of divorce in our time, if you have noticed. So she sometimes talks about it because we even have friends who we will hang out as couples, you know, hanging out, you know, a group dates type of thing, you know, and then some of them, they might end up breaking up, even if they're not married, but breaking up, or some. I do have a friend who came back from a marriage, and I don't know how that would feel, but I know it's very emotional, you know what I mean? But just a breakup, this is what causes the breakups for most people. I think we should be worried about this. If you see a pattern changing, like maybe your partner not being the person that they used to be, it can go within the space of a week. You will see that this person, we grow every day as humans. So if you are studying your person or you're not paying much attention, your person can automatically change because you are allowing them, and which is not wrong. You are supposed to let them grow, but you're also supposed to grow with them. Some people just become so comfortable once they've found something. You know, when you are young, you want something. Once you have it, it's like toys. Now you have this toy, you start kicking it around, you're not enjoying. That's what we do with, am I audible?
Now we can hear you.
Yes.
I couldn't hear you for a good few minutes there.
Okay. You're saying the most important thing is for you to treat your partner like yourself. I wouldn't want to make my partner feel like now that we are hitched and we are in this thing together, we are just going through it. You need to make it very interesting for them. You need to always come up with some, you know, stunts, make it surprise them, do things for them that make them feel that they're still wanted.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing. Yes, it's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who doesn't want to feel wanted, right?
You know what I mean?
That is
I think it's about two people, you know, wanting to keep at it, keep working on it, you know, just making sure that, you know, they're following through on the same level, you know, not one doing more, one less. It needs to be effort on both parts, you know. I think that's great. I really like what you had to say there.
Had never ever known about divorce, we're a loser or something like that. Even if I'm getting mistreated, some just stay in the marriage and stick it out even when it's hard.
Oh.
I don't know why, because you know people have options now, but it's like a conditioning. It's the way, yeah. So South Africa treats marriage like that. Lesotho does the same thing. We are technically one country. In fact, Southern Africa, the whole of Southern Africa, we sort of have that belief that once you're married, you shouldn't leave. You said you're gonna be in this forever, you know, till death do us part. So they take it literally, like it's very hard to divorce. Yeah.
So I have a question then, because a lot of people in America, they stereotype like Africans, and they say that they have multiple wives. Is that still true? Because I know that was part of some of their culture.
Yeah.
Is it still true?
Oh yes. It's still happening to this day. Yes. Well, we even here. What do you call it? Polygamous marriage, right? Right. We have a lot of those. Even certain leaders, or we can call them chiefs or kings. They have multiple. They have many wives.
And why
Yeah.
don't you? Is it a religious thing that why you don't have multiple wives? Your wife
Oh,
doesn't-
no, my partner will kill me. I don't know. No,
I was gonna say, he wants to stay alive, Cassandra.
no, that's the first thing. I want to stay alive. I'm trying to stay alive. No. But to be honest, it's also because we spoke about it, and I don't think we are both into it. It wouldn't work. We probably didn't. We were not raised that way. We are like my mom. She never got that offer from my dad, and so in my family, in my line, my on my dad's side, I know there's no, in fact, on my mom's side, there's an uncle of mine who has 2 wives. 3 wives, I think. Yes, that's it. The rest, most of my parents' siblings, they were just with one partner. So yeah, I don't really understand the whole polygamous marriage thing. But I know people who do it. I actually even know a person who's in a polygamous marriage as we speak. Yeah.
Okay.
I heard that I've heard, or I know someone who is attempting that right now. And they said it's so extremely exhausting. It's not what it's cracked up to be.
I bet it.
I can imagine.
One is a
Yeah. But they manage. Most kids, people who also have a lot of guap, a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I mean,
Imagine now you're taking care of 2 households.
we can't even take care of one. So Skebz, we're about to close out. I know Don got to go to bed for work. Where can we find out more about your music and you? Where can we find out or get in touch with you at?
Your partner comes, kids.
So Skebz,
Yes, ma'am.
we're about to close out the show. Don needs to go to bed and go to work tomorrow. So we want to know where can we find out more about you and your music?
Just on my socials, on Twitter and Instagram, just at Skebz D. That's my name. So it's SKEBZD. The D is usually just to add on to my name. Yeah, but at Skebz D on Twitter and Instagram, and then on Facebook it's Skebza or Skebz D Sotho King. Those are my 2 accounts on Facebook. I try to connect to people more using those rather than the fan page. A fan page usually is just for my shows or for my feedback to my people of what I've been doing, maybe promoting songs and so on. On those social ones, those ones, the personal ones, I can actually interact with people, so I prefer that. So it's SKEBZD on everything, Skebz D. Even on YouTube, it's Skebza or Skebz D. You will find on both. I either post videos as Skebza or Skebz D. It depends on how I'm feeling.
What does your name mean?
My real name, it's Mokebe. So Mokebe is a snake. It's a water snake.
Wow.
In our culture, yes, in our culture, mostly even our names and surnames, you find a person, their name and their surname are both different types of snakes. You find a person called like Python Cobra. We praised a lot of, we still do, a lot of people still do. We are very much about water animals, crocodiles, so our surnames come from that. There's like my tribe is called the Baquina. So the Baquina Tribe is basically the tribe that follows the crocodiles.
Cool.
And so my name is Mokebe, and then it's that water snake that they talk about. It's actually more of a mystical snake than actually a real life snake.
Is that what Skebz is?
Cool.
Is Skebz a snake too?
I really like that.
Is Skebz a snake?
Well, he was saying that was his real name.
Yeah.
Mokebe.
But he didn't say what Skebza means. What does Skebza mean?
Okay, Skebza is the Mokebe, the KEB in my name. So everybody will give you a nickname. So usually if your name is Teboho, they'll call you Tebza. because they're trying to, so the Mokele and then the Skebz came from that.
Oh, okay. So it
You
came
know,
from your
yes.
full name.
Like,
From my phone, yes. So I just got used to it, and when I got into the music, I just added the D, because a lot of people used to say, this guy is crazy, he's delirious, he's whatever, so I just said Skebz a D, and I went with it.
Wonderful. Well, that was a fun
that's
interview.
awesome.
That was a really fun interview, and I learned so much about you and your culture, and it's a pleasure. And your wife too. Send her our love. I mean, she sounds phenomenal.
I'll definitely do that.
You have a nice day, and we're gonna enjoy our night over here, getting some rest.
Have a good night as well, guys, and productive week ahead as well. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, one more question before we end. Do we have permission to use your music on the cable channel and on the social media platforms? Okay.
Definitely. Please do.
Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Guys, have a good day and good night.
Okay. Have a good night.
You too. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.